Some names get carved into NBA history from the moment they step on the floor. Others, they earn it, play by play, bucket by bucket. And then, there's Joe Johnson. A 7-time All-Star, 20,000 point scorer and clutch killer, and one of my favorite NBA players of all time. Actually the first NBA player whose jersey I got as an adult, who somehow gets left behind in every conversation that seems to matter. He was never flashy, he never begged for attention, but when it came time to deliver, he was one of the coldest ever. This is the story of one of the most disrespected players in NBA history, ISO Joe. Let's start with the numbers. The kind of stats that should guarantee legacy status. Joe Johnson scored over 20,000 career points. That's more than legends like Chris Webber, Manu Ginobili, and even Tony Parker. He made the All-Star team 7 times, including 6 years in a row from 2007 to 2012. That's not a fluke, that's sustained excellence. He averaged over 20 points per game for 5 straight seasons in Atlanta as the primary option, leading a Hawks team that had no other superstar. He could shoot, pass, post up, and defend when needed. Not only was he consistent, he was durable too. Joe played 82 games in 4 different seasons. He showed up. So why is it that when people talk about the best scorers of the 2000s, Joe's name barely comes up? Why is he not even considered for the NBA's top 75 player list? Let's be real. Joe's nickname, ISO Joe, became a double-edged sword. He was one of the most elite isolation players in NBA history. Need a bucket in crunch time? ISO Joe. Just give him the rock, clear out, and let him cook. He could size you up, hit the fade, or take you strong to the hoop, and he made it look easy. But the media, they twisted it into a negative. They said his style slowed down the offense, that he didn't move the ball enough, that he was boring to watch. Meanwhile, those same analysts praised players like Carmelo Anthony or James Harden for doing the exact same thing. Now sure, Harden averaged some assists, but the comparison's still there. And sure, he didn't have highlight reel dunks or viral trash talk moments, but ask the defenders who had to guard him, there was absolutely nothing boring about getting cooked by Joe Johnson. Part of Joe's disrespect comes from where he played and who he played next to. He started in Phoenix, that had a stacked team with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Sean Marion. Joe was a key piece, but Nash got the MVPs in the spotlight. Then he gets traded to Atlanta, a franchise that hasn't been relevant in years. And suddenly, Joe's expected to lead a young, rebuilding team on his own. He delivers. The Hawks go from 13 wins to playoff contenders, but Joe, he gets no credit. And then in Brooklyn, my favorite team, the team builds a super squad with Deron Williams, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Joe Johnson, but they underachieve, and once again, Joe takes the blame, despite consistently being their most clutch performer. Let's talk about the contract. In 2010, Joe signed one of the richest deals in NBA history at the time. It feels like it doesn't compare to anything that's getting signed right now, but whatever. So instead of celebrating the bag, everyone called him overpaid. And as if it was his fault, teams wanted to pay for his game. He was getting paid $124 million in his contract for 6 years. That's like, I don't know, $20-ish million a year, which seems low now. Here's the thing though. The media never gave Joe enough credit for anything. He was one of the most clutch players of his era. Don't believe this? Check this out. Between 2007 and 2017, that 10-year span, Joe Johnson had more game-winning shots than Kobe Bryant, more buzzer beaters than LeBron. He hit daggers in playoff games like the insane fadeaway versus the Raptors in 2014, or the game winner for the Jazz against the Clippers in 2017. The man was a walking bucket under pressure, and you see it now in the Big Three. I'm not sure if he's quite back from injury yet, but if anybody was going to score all 50 points in the Big Three game, it was going to be Joe Johnson. Mark my words. You see it now, he's still a walking bucket, and you see him on YouTube sometimes as well. Teammates trusted him, coaches drew up plays for him. When the lights were bright, Joe Johnson never flinched, and yet still, almost nobody talks about him, I guess, except for me right now. In 2021, at age 40, Joe came back to the NBA and still got buckets. He was dominating the Big Three league, showing his skills never left. He didn't rely on athleticism, his game was about craft, footwork, touch, and IQ, all of which aged well. And let's be clear, his career numbers stack against guys already in the Hall of Fame. Compare him to someone like Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, or again Manu Ginobili, and Joe's resume holds its own. So why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Why is he left off every top 75 or all-decade list? Simply, Joe Johnson wasn't loud. He didn't sell shoes. He just let his game talk, and maybe in today's NBA media world, that wasn't enough. Joe Johnson never chased the spotlight. He let others get headlines while he got the wins. He didn't ask for respect, but it's time he finally gets it. Because numbers don't lie and the tape doesn't lie, Joe Johnson, one of the most skilled, underrated, and disrespected legends to ever step on a court. It's time we put his name back where it belongs. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe for more NBA content like this. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.